Hey everyone, it's Will with Military Lawn Cuts, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a real life story of us and how, we own a lawn care company. At times, there are damage that is done to a customer's property, obviously not intentionally, but on accident. And, we're humans, we make mistakes. If you have team members, they're going to cause damage on customers' properties. And so how do you handle that? That's what we're going to be talking about today. A little background about myself. My wife and I, we own 2 lawn care companies. We've been doing this for about 5 years. We have about 13 employees that work for us. Pushing to do about $1 million in sales, and it's part of business. It's part of business. Things are breaking, accidents happen. How do you address that in a professional manner and not let stuff like this set you back in your schedule or allow you to lose sleep at night? Because I know, when I first started in the beginning, there was a damage case, for me, my heart raced, legs shook, got tight, I got stressful, and I didn't think thoroughly through things. And so hopefully I'm here to guide you through that, explain to you that it's okay. It's not the end of the world. To the customer, it may seem like the end of the world, but me being with military background, there's nobody dying on the battlefield here, guys. All of this stuff is fixable. All of this stuff is replaceable. And, if you approach it in a type of good customer service approach, you'll be much better off and save you sleep at night, allow you to not be so stressed out. So we're talking about how to handle damage on property. So the very first thing that we train all of our crews to do in a scenario like this, and the reason I put it in red is because it's not good, but it's inevitable. It will happen. So first thing you want to do is actually ring the doorbell, right? Which you can pretty much sum this up as basically communicate to the customer. So there was a lawn care company in our area a few years back. They're not in business anymore, but I heard a story from our neighbor, and he came over and was telling me one time that their crews came over and mowed the backyard because he had signed up with services, and his wife was home and she heard a really loud bang, pop in the back. And she was like, oh my goodness, what was that? And so, she didn't really go out there because the crews were there. And so all of a sudden, crews got done mowing the lawn, they got in the truck, and they went to the next property. And so the homeowner came out, walked the property, found out, and realized that the crews actually backed up into one of the gutter downspouts, which is what allowed that noise and that popping sound to be so loud that she could hear it inside of her house. Immediately in her mind, okay, guys just damaged something on my property. If I wasn't home, I wouldn't have heard it. They got in their truck, they went to the next property, and all of a sudden, are they trying to get away with this? They didn't tell me. It's really important to be proactive, extremely proactive in these types of scenarios. And ring the doorbell, whether they're home or not. We attempt to try and let them know before they let us know, hey, we accidentally caused some damage on the property. That's step number 1. Ring the doorbell. Communicate it to the customer. Now, home or not, you can maybe tell them to the ring doorbell, or if you're like us, we keep door hangers inside of our trucks that say, sorry we missed you. Guess what? Guys, write down something on there, put a door hanger up there and said, hey, we accidentally hit the gutter in the back. Just want to let you know we're going to get this taken care of for you. Instead of just leaving and not telling the customer, because that's when they're like, hey, or are they trying to get away with this? That's number 1. So number 2 is going to be take pictures. Now, we make our crews take pictures anytime that there is damage. We got to make sure that we're documenting this stuff. You want to just make sure you're covering everything in this process. You don't want to not take pictures. And, I had a guy one time reach out to us and say that we damaged his whole fence and that we shot rocks through the fence panel. And so we went out, looked at the damage, and because we didn't have pictures, and we looked at it, and come to find out, then there were holes all over the fence. And he was like, yeah, the weed eater shot rocks through it, and little small holes all over the white vinyl fence. And so come to find out, as I investigated, I'm like, I don't believe that these holes are from us because they're all over it. He would have heard that smacking into the vinyl. Come to find out, the neighbor's kid next door was shooting airsoft BB guns, the day prior, and was putting holes all in the fences. So you want to make sure you're documenting every step of the way. This is why we take pictures on it. Number 3 is, and this is going to be mainly for the crews unless you are a solo operator, So you want to notify Supervisor. Now, how do you do that? Well, very simple. We use a software called Copilot CRM. You can actually put in the visit notes that there was some damage done on this property. They'll take pictures, upload it, and they'll say, hey, accidentally hit the edger with the fence, right? The fence or the edger accidentally hit the fence. And so there should be pictures on the job, and then there'll be a note there as well. Based on if they were able to get a hold of the customer or not, now our admin team will look at that and be like, okay, we need to email the customer and be, again, proactive about telling them about the damage. So number 4 is going to be actually repairing the damage. Good customer service. I don't know about you guys. In fact, I'll ask you. You should put it in the comments below. How do you guys handle damage? Do you split it with the customer 50-50? Do you take ownership of it for you and your crews and pay for it outright? Do you make your crews pay for the damage? Or do you, as a good business owner, just be like, you know what, it's my fault, I didn't train him properly, it's just gonna come out of our pocket? I'm curious what you do in your business. Put it in the comments below. I wanna see what you guys are doing. So for us, for repairing, we'll basically reach out to a contractor and set up an appointment. I don't typically like to have the customer get the actual person lined up because, again, it could be their brother-in-law or someone else, and like, we've never used them before. Maybe the price is quadruple what we would pay. I just haven't built that trust with the contractor yet. So like, I'm a little weary about like having the customer choose the contractor that they use. I would prefer we do it in-house, even though we don't actually repair that type of stuff. It's good to have a handyman type of contractor on speed dial. So that way when damage occurs, you can just call them up and say, hey man, I got another one of these fence panels need to be fixed. And you already know what the cost is because he's done it before for you. You know, he's not charging you overpriced arm and a leg to, fix something simple. To wrap this up here, what I want to really let you guys know, like, here are some tips to handle this. To you, it might not be a big deal, but to the customer, if you're like doing residential, it's a big deal. Like, this is their home. And so it's your job to make them feel comfortable, reassure them, and be very proactive and over communicate when you are scheduling the contract. Like, once you have this contractor on schedule, like, shoot an email, hey, they'll be there this week on Tuesday to, get the fence repaired or whatever the repair is, right? Keep that communication. It's very, very important. Be honest. Be absolutely honest. If you're honest through the process and you tell them up front, and you communicate them through that. There have been so many times that I or our team has caused damage to a property. And a lot of times it's not major stuff. A lot of times it might be a little solar light or a little frog in the flower bed or something on their property. That might be 5, 10, 15, 20, even $50, right? If you stop what you're doing, ring the doorbell and be honest about the damage, and be proactive about it, what you'll find is literally 98% of the time, as long as it's nothing like major, they're like, don't worry about it. It's $20. It's a solar light. It's a decorative piece. Don't worry about it. And so 98% of the time, that's literally what they say when you tell them about it. Like, hey, I'm so sorry. I messed up. I accidentally hit the solar light. I should have paid more attention. Oh, don't worry about it. Like that's normally how it is. Now, if it's something more major, like we broke the fence or something like that, it's like, look, we're going to get it fixed. I'm going to work with my office. We're going to get somebody out here to get this fixed for you. And obviously you're not going to pay for it. That's how we basically handled it because they didn't really do much, Just be honest and being prompt. This is very, very important because, again, this is your home that we accidentally damaged. We obviously didn't do it intentionally. It was an accident. And accidents happen, unfortunately. Just be very quick with it. Like, try to get the contractor out there as quickly as possible. Make sure to have a good contractor that you can rely on. We've ran into scenarios where we do have a contractor and the price isn't right, but like when you schedule them and he's like, yeah, I'll be there on Tuesday. He doesn't show up on Tuesday and you're like, hey man, like what's going on? Like, are you gonna be there on Wednesday? Yeah, I'll be there Wednesday. And then he doesn't show up on Wednesday. It makes you look bad and your company look bad, and it's not good customer service. I'm willing to pay a little bit extra for the repair, an extra $25, $50, or $100, depending on what it is, to make sure that like when that contractor says he'll be there and he'll get it done to customer satisfaction. Guys, this is really the damage, like how we handle damage repairs and stuff. If you like this type of content, hit that like button. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. See you in the next video.